Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Govindana Vallabha Girivardhari Govindana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Munatira Vanachari Amunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Govindana Vallabha Girivardhari Govindana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Amunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Shishima Shridhanta Goswami Shile Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Srila Shishima Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Govinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Mai ki jai, Jamuna Mai ki jai, Tulsi Maharani ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we're continuing our reading of the 10th canto, chapter 53. Now we're on verse 34, and I've been told that we can do a few verses since there's... So, and we'll chant this first verse together and then go... Dayor Niveshanam Srimad Upakalpya Mahamati Sasainya Yos Hanugayor Atityam Vidadeyata Dayor Niveshanam Srimad Upakalpya Mahamati Sasanyayo Shanugayor Atityam Vidadeyata. Yorniveshanam Srimad Vakalpya Mahamati Sasainya Shanugayor Atityam Vidadeyata. Ladies. Yorniveshanam Srimad Upakalpya Mahamati Sashanyayo Shanugayor Atityam Vidadeyata. Dayo for them. Niveshanam, place to stay. Srimat, opulent. Upakalpya, arranging. Mahamati, generous. Sa, together with. Sainyayo, their soldiers. Sa, together with. Anugayo, their personal associates. Atityam, hospitality. Vidade, he afforded. Yata, properly. Translation. Generous King Bhishmaka arranged opulent accommodations for the two lords and also for their army and entourage. In this way, he afforded them proper hospitality. So we're going to continue and read a few more verses. 35. Thus it was that Bhishmaka, please do the Sanskrit also, or just the... Okay, let's do the Sanskrit. I read the Sanskrit and the... Okay. Evam rajyam sametanam yata viryam yata vayaha yata bhalam yata vitam sarvai kamhai samarhayat. Thus it was that Bhishmaka gave all desirable things to the kings who had assembled for the occasion, honoring them as befitted their political power, age, physical prowess, and wealth. Text 36. Krishnam agatam akarnya vidarbha puravashinaha agatya netranjalivihi babustan mukha pankajam. When the residents of Vidarbhapura, heard that Lord Krishna had come, they all went to see him. With the cupped palms of their eyes, they drank the honey of his lotus face. What a beautiful simile, I guess is the proper term, right? Of the cupped palms of their eyes. They drank the honey of his lotus face. Just I want to read one more verse, but I want to just insert here. This is an example, I believe, of something I learned just a few days ago in a class by Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj, who was describing that in Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the challenges of Srimad Bhagavatam is that there's actually 3 languages. It's not just Sanskrit. There's 3 kinds of Sanskrit. Just like in Bengal, there's 2 kinds of Bengali. They call it Sadhu Bhashya and Grama Bhashya. So there's the formal and sophisticated, the sadhu, the gentleman's language of Bengal. And then there's the colloquial village language. So he described that Sukadeva Goswami actually, Sukadeva Goswami and the others who are speaking in the Bhagavatam, they employ actually 3 different languages. One of them he described as Samadhi Bhashya. The other is Lokik Bhashya, would be I think Vyanjan Bhashya. So Lokik Bhashya would be the general language, how things are generally spoke of. Vyanjan Bhashya would be, the direct meaning is not apparent. We have to elaborate. We have to, through Vyanjan, I think, refers to alliteration and to explain something. Like here, there's some extension. But Samadhi Bhashya is when the speaker is actually seeing the words in trance, in samadhi, and then repeating. And he described that it was in this method that Valmiki saw the Ramayana. Even before the incidents of the Ramayana took place, he saw it. He could see these words. The Ramayana begins as in Valmiki's Ramayana with Valmiki uttering a curse that he doesn't. Why did I do that? I don't. But then I think those of you who are more studious than I am may remember. I think it's Narada Muni shows up, isn't it? Brahma shows up and says, "This is the meter that you have to use for the Ramayana." So this is the way of Samadhi Bhashya, the language that comes, and therefore it's because it's being seen. So I'm hearing this and thinking, oh, Sukadeva is seeing all of this, and the language is just coming out. What is it? Agatya netranjalabihi papus tanmukha pankajam. Text 37. Asyaiva bharya bhavitum rukmin yarhati napara asavyapi navad asavapyanavhadyatma Vaishmya samuchita patihi. The people of this city said, Rukmini, and no one else, deserves to become his wife. And he also, possessing such flawless beauty, is the only suitable husband for Princess Vaishmi. Purport. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, this text combines statements made by different citizens. Some pointed out that Rukmini was a suitable wife for Krishna. Others said that no one else was suitable. Similarly, some stated that Krishna was most suitable for Rukmini, and others stated that no one else would be a suitable husband for her. So I was told that we're it's okay to go to other commentaries, right? So this is because here is also stated Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. So let's read that. I can just make it bigger somehow. So I think this is Banaswami's translation. I'm not sure. This verse combines statements made by different citizens of Vidarbha. 7 statements have been combined in one. For him alone and no other. 2, as a wife, not as an enjoyable object. 3, Rukmini alone and no one else. 4, this certainly must be and should not be avoided. 5, he alone and no one else. So the first one is for him alone and no other. And this 5th one is he alone and no one else. And then, similarly, 6, for Rukmini and no one else. And 7, he is perfectly suited, samuchitaha, not at all unsuitable. The purport continues. These 7 statements have the negative qualifier, quote, no one else, na apara, nor nothing else applied to each statement. Some said, Rukmini and no one else deserves to be Krishna's wife. Others said, she should be Krishna's wife and nothing else, such as an object of enjoyment. My suggestion is perhaps they're thinking of Shishupal. Because what was Shishupal's attitude towards Rukmini? Object of enjoyment. This beauty, this extraordinary beauty will be mine. I will enjoy with my queen Rukmini. That I think we can think that that's kind of what's going through Shishupal's head. And I think later on we hear him say things like this, hey, you stop it. And what was Rukmini's appeal to Krishna? Is it suitable that the jackal should enjoy what is meant for the lion? So she's seeing herself as the object of Krishna's enjoyment, but she should not be the object of enjoyment for anyone else. Others said, Rukmini alone and no one else should be Krishna's wife. This is Krishna's first marriage. In this way, at least. In this way, also, 4 other statements could be made. Rukmini should certainly be Krishna's wife. There's no question about it. Krishna and only Krishna should be Rukmini's husband. Right? No Shishupal, no one else involved. Krishna should be the husband of Rukmini only. Krishna must be the husband of Rukmini. Vishwanath continues, to say it is a fault of contradiction because of the impossibility of combining 7 statements in one is not correct, because the authorities say, Sambhavatyeka vakyatye vakyabhedo hi goravam. A divergence of statements can be spoken within one statement when it expresses the importance of the subject. The importance of the subject. So what is the importance of this subject? I was thinking, what is the importance here? What can we gather here from this? And I was reflecting about the attitude of these residents of Vidarbha, who are seeing Krishna and seeing Rukmini and thinking, let Krishna be with Rukmini. They want to see this divine couple coming together. And I was reflecting how this connects with our aspiration to see Radha and Krishna in joy. This is the characteristic of the spiritual world. In our world, when we see a beautiful woman or a lovely couple, and we think, oh, I could be. That could be me, or I could be in there, or somehow, how can I enjoy like that? Envy. We become envious of that relationship, that enjoyment, and search, how can I find that for myself? Considering myself to be the center. I was reflecting how here in this, as is the case throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, we're constantly being drawn to get out of the conception of being in the center ourselves and putting Krishna in the center. Putting his life, his pastimes, his beauty, his everything, drinking his nectar. Of course, we may think, well, here, one may think, well, this is another form of putting ourselves in the center. To enjoy Krishna. Let's enjoy Krishna. But the mood is different. Yes, we do enjoy Krishna. We enjoy Krishna Prasadam, particularly. We enjoy Krishna Kirtan. We enjoy the beautiful darshan, which we'll be having in just 20 minutes or so. So we enjoy, our senses they're drawn towards Krishna. And there are those who are drawn to Krishna. They're drawn to his beauty, his opulence, his strength. And they worship him. But their mood is somehow, I can get that. I can have that. I can be Krishna. Our mood is the opposite. Our mood, as reflected here in the mood of these residents of Vidarbha, this was my thought, is that when they see Krishna, they're not thinking, oh, how can I become Krishna's husband, Krishna's wife? How can he become my husband? But no, they're thinking, Rukmini must be united. Because she alone, all of their thoughts, this verse particularly is saying, she alone, no one else is suited. No one else should be her husband. She should only be his wife. So this mood of service, of wanting to serve the manifestations of Krishna's prema, and Krishna prema in the form of this love between, in this case, Rukmini and Krishna. We also want to serve that. Gopi bhartu pada kamalayor, dasa 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 anudasa. We aspire, all of us here in this Gaudiya Sampradaya, to serve the union of Radha and Krishna. Not directly, that is beyond our qualification in every respect, but as a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of those gopis who please Krishna. In this same talk that I was hearing about Bhagavatam, Bhaktivedanta Maharaj was describing how this conception of service to Krishna evolves in the Bhagavatam. How it evolves from the level of even the impersonal. It evolves up to the level of servitude in awe and reverence, but that it culminates in the service of the gopis in Vrindavan. Not all Vaishnava Sampradayas aspire in this way. And Rukmini, I was thinking about, because we're discussing Rukmini. Rukmini is, we have Rukmini Dwarkajish temple in our society. But even there, they are depicted as Radha and Krishna. It's simply that our mood there, since we have been called by Srila Prabhupada to approach Radha and Krishna in deity worship at this stage, particularly in our conditioned stage, in the mood of awe, the mood of reverence, the mood of them being like here in this, the citizens of Vidarbha, their mood of seeing Krishna and Rukmini as the emblem of beauty and wonder, but with this awe. You can kind of see this sense of the words used, cupped, drinking the nectar with the cups of their eyes. There's this sense of I'm beholding something wonderful and extraordinary. The same mood, I suggest, was expressed by the ladies of Mathura, but perhaps a little closer to amorous desire, at least from the point of view of the gopis of Vrindavan. They considered, when they considered the ladies of Mathura, they said, well, they must be now enjoying Krishna. He's ours, but they're enjoying. But when we hear about their mood when Krishna enters Mathura, they similarly they get onto the rooftops. They keep themselves a bit shy. There's a shyness to their approach. Now, it's not described here, but I can envision that the ladies of Vidarbha were also similarly seeing Krishna in this way, with some shyness, but with extraordinary attraction, with awe and with reverence. Now, in other sampradayas, this is the primary realization, the primary aspiration, to enter into a relationship with the Supreme Lord in a position of service, constantly able to see his greatness. This is Vaikuntha. Now, I perhaps some of you who have studied more know more about how the members of Sri Sampradaya, etc., envision Vaikuntha. In our Gaudiya tradition, we have the Bhagavatam, which describes something of Vaikuntha, not a whole lot. I mean, we hear a bit about Vaikuntha for Jai and Vijay and how they are there and what's going on when the Kumaras go there. We don't get to compare to Goloka, where we get the entire complete description of everything practically. Not everything, but we really get a sense of what Goloka Vrindavan is like. Vaikuntha, we get from Brihad Bhagavatamrita, we get a bit more, which is, I find, very extraordinary. Yes, they also have a full life. It's not that everyone's simply just sitting around, just in like this. Krishna's there and they're there, and that's it. No, there is a life. There's activity there. When Gopakumar arrives in Vaikuntha, as I recall, there's some Vaikuntha, he can't figure out who is Narayan, because there's all these four-handed jiva devotees who are coming from here and there, doing all various kinds of activities. So there's all kinds of activities, but it's all centered on pleasing Krishna. The pleasure of Krishna is our aspiration. Last night, Haladar Swami Maharaj spoke on the topic of Vaishnava Seva and how the path to please Krishna is through his devotees. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasada yasya prasada nagati katopa. When we please the devotees, and he was stressing how Guru, although this verse, yasya prasada bhagavat prasada yasya prasada nagati katopi, is directed toward our gurus. Our gurus are present in all the devotees. This was one of his main points. That in all the Vaishnavas, we should see our guru present, teaching. We should see that by serving the Vaishnavas, we're also serving our gurus. This was, he elaborated on this quite a bit. I was very taken by his first, he opened up, how many of you you listened to his talk? Yeah. I was able to go there for some of it. And I was struck, he was stressing how when we speak of parampara, it's not, the focus of parampara is not the knowledge that is being transmitted, because the knowledge is there in the books and the treats. It's the realization and the mercy of the Vaishnavas and the Acharyas, which is coming down to us through this system of parampara. And it is the connection, the system of parampara is also the connection by which we can serve Krishna through parampara. Srila Prabhupada gave us that direction, that when we come to serve Krishna, when we come to offer something to Krishna, we offer it to him to offer to Krishna. This is our parampara system that we, and in fact, in one of these verses, the term parampara was used. Anyway, the following, going upwards. So this is the mood of the citizens here of Vidarbha, that to serve the desires of Krishna by uniting him with Rukmini. Even Bhishmaka, we heard in although he had consented, and of course this is one of the most dramatic leelas of the Bhagavatam. Thus it was chosen. You were there, I'm sure, Nirmala, in Henry Street. Oh, you were not there at that time. Oh, okay. In Chicago. Well, I was there. Just a few minutes, and I'll stop here, open up for comments. But Henry Street, Brooklyn, was an extraordinary ISKCON chapter. Srila Prabhupada, he came there a number of times. And one of the opulences of our temple then was the Vaikuntha players. The unparalleled, I have to say, in my opinion, the unparalleled Vaikuntha players. I do not know of any group of devotees who can match this group. Loitaksha, Rasagya, Lokamangala, Prajapati, Nandakishore, they've all gone. they performed this play, The Kidnapping of Rukmini. And today to prepare, I went back to just read this story. I thought, oh, what this drama. And it was calling back the drama. There's so much drama here. And Rasagya played Rukmini. And when I think it was maybe just a week ago or so, because I was here for Dayavir's class. So he was talking about how Rukmini was, he's not come. What's happened? Maybe he was coming, but Brahma stopped him. But why? And all of this is going through her mind. This mind is just turbulent. This was Rasagya's. She could do it. She brought this out. And Srila Prabhupada watched. And at the end, he said, better than the book. And he praised Rasagya's performance. She was empowered. We have in your community here, you have another such actor who has been privileged to have that experience. Maybe he's told his story. Jagapurush, has he told his story of playing Hiranyakashipu in Juhu? Yeah, so he tells how he realized the actor's dream to enter into the character to such an extent that you lose yourself and you are just that character. Rasagya could do that. Let us remember her as such a wonderful, pure devotee. So, The Kidnapping of Rukmini is one of these incredible dramas, and it brings to light this same principle. Krishna must be always in the center. Everything belongs to Krishna. Bhishmaka, he understood also. But there were those who didn't. And they will be dealt with in the coming verses. Hare Krishna. So we have 5 minutes, I guess, right? Little less. What time does 7:15 is the... Okay, few minutes. Anyway, if anyone has some comments they'd like to add to this. Yes, Amala.
I was really struck by the drinking lotus, and I looked up Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on text 36, and he says the phrase "papastam mukha pankajam" means the people drank the incomparable sweetness of Krishna's lotus face. This indicates the unlimited quantity of honey contained in this lotus, and how wonderful it was that many parties could drink from that one lotus at the same time.
Yes.
So it just struck me like, Krishna dancing with all the gopis at once and looking at all the cowherd boys at once. And so the same way that each of these individuals were able to drink this honey from his face at one time.
Don't worry. There's enough Krishna to go around for all of us. We can all surrender to Krishna. And we don't have to worry, well, somehow if we all surrender to Krishna, then, then I'll just be one amongst millions. But no. We'll be one with Krishna. Such a promise.
Where, they're in this mood, only Rukmini for Krishna, only Krishna for, It's all about their enjoyment, and which is what you were mostly talking about. But it's also that everyone who's thinking like that is also personally experiencing their relationship with Krishna. It's not that Rukmini's relationship with Krishna negates their. So anyway, I was just thinking about that kind of paradox. You know, they're just focused, Krishna's going to enjoy only with Rukmini. But the very act of their thinking that way and their feeling that way puts them, like what you were just saying now, that it just becomes them and Krishna.
Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Jai Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. It's okay. I'm also an actor.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Marhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Driya Priti Manti Vasyanti Pan Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Jinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adipurusham
Yasomati Nandana Yasomati Nandana Vrajajana Gokula Janakana Yasomati Nandana Vrajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yasomati Nandana Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliyadama Navidana Kaliyadama Navidana Kaliyadama Navidana Kaliyadama Navidana Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Mamiya Vilasa Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Mamiya Vilasa Vipinan Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vamsivadana Subasa Vipinan Purandara Vamsivadana Subasa Vipinam Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vamsivadana Subasa Brajajana Palana Surakula Nashana Brajajana Pala Surakula Nashana Brajajana Palana Surakula Nashana Brajajana Palana Surakula Nashana Nanda Godana Rakulaya Nanda Godana Rakulwala Nanda Godana Rakulwala Nanda Rakulwala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya 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 Shri Radhavala Vrindavana Natabara Shri Radhavala Vrindavana Natabara Shri Radhavala Vrindavana Natabara Shri Radhavala Vrindavana Natabara Bhakati Vinoda Shraya Bhakati Vinoda Shraya Bhakati Vinoda Shraya Bhakati Vinoda Shraya Ayasomati Nandana Brajaparanagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yasomati Nandana Brajaparanagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Amala Harinama Miya Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa. Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa. Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara. Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara. Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara. Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara. Bhakati Vinoda Shraya. Bhakati Vinoda Shraya. Bhakati Vinoda Shraya. Bhakati Vinoda Shraya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radhe. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radha. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya 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 Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Gaura ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai, jai 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 Shri Radhe Sham. Lord Krishna is beloved son of Yashoda, transcendental lover in the land of Braj, the delight of Gokula, known by the nickname Kanna, the wealth of the lives of the gopis, the attractor of Cupid and punisher of the serpent Kaliya. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Lord of the 12 forests of Braj, ever youthful, the best of lovers, player of the flute, and excellent dresser, protector of the inhabitants of Braj, destroyer of the demoniac dynasties, keeper and tender of Nanda's cows, giver of pleasure to cows, land, and spiritual senses, husband of the goddess of fortune, butter thief, and beautiful little cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj, wanderer of the Yamuna riverbanks, thief of the garments of the gopis, enjoyer of the mellows of the rasa dance, very merciful, lover and beloved of Sri Radha, the great dancer of Vrindavan, and the only shelter of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Chaitodarpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam shreya jivanam anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipanam pradaswadanam sarvatmasnapanam paramijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahudan Nija Sarva Shakti Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjanina Nuraga Drinad Pisu Nichena Tarora Pisu Hishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Gavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahoy Taki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitamam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Pripaya Pada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrashim Vachintaya Nayanam Gadashu Taraya Varanam Gadgada Ridaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishyava Padaratam Panastumam Adarshanam Marma Hatakurotuva Yatatatava Vidadatu Lampato Mat Prananatastu Saeva Napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Shastastika Ki Jai. And a reminder, or a first announcement, that after all this rain clears up in the next couple of days, we'll be having Harinam Sankirtan on Sunday to make sure it's not raining. From 12 to 2, the students are coming back this weekend, so